Welcome back to Conversations for Connection. Thanks for joining us for part 2 of our conversation with Llewellyn Devereux, who is a South African-born inventor, speaker, organizational trainer, business coach, and innovation consultant. After inventing the world's first anti-hangover shooter, Lohokla, which is alcohol spelled backwards, he now teaches time-old principles around self-mastery, money mastery, and purpose to people all around the world. In part 1, we defined self-mastery and reviewed the work that's needed in practicing self-mastery. We also talked about the power of choosing order and discipline, delaying gratification, and establishing healthy habits. Let's continue.
It's just the way that it goes. People prefer being in chaos. They don't like order and they don't like discipline.
Would you say that is a default setting, so to say, for human beings, and hence you have to learn? Or it's because it's easy, it does not need maintenance? Why do you say human beings like disorder or chaos?
It's because it's what they know and what they're used to, but also people refuse the effort to create order. You see what I'm saying? That's why, it's like in the Garden of Eden. The word Eden isn't a place. It's not a place or place in the sky. Eden, the word Eden means a garden, right? Mm-hmm. And a garden speaks to order. Mm-hmm. That's what a garden means. So the word heaven, the root word for heaven is the word in Greek, which is the word for harmony. Okay. So when you have order, you have harmony. You have Eden. So when you have a garden, you understand that you have to keep cutting the grass. You have to keep making sure this thing is clean and this thing is on point. Otherwise, it becomes a bush.
Wow.
People don't like putting in effort. They want things to be easy. That is why people can always be scammed. They would rather have the losing weight pills than to go to the gym. They would rather want the quick fix me situation versus actually doing the work. They want the get rich quick scheme versus actually going to build the wealth. So it's just people like to they let convenience dictate their preferences. That's what people do. That's what they like doing. It's just choosing the easy way out.
You'd say self-mastery requires one to be consistent.
Yes, because if you want to walk 1,000 miles to get to somewhere, you don't get there in a day. It's going to take little by little. It's like some days you're going to run, some days you can walk, some days you got to crawl. But it's literally little by little, a little becomes a lot. The laws of momentum always apply. Everything compounds as time goes on, but people can't handle those daily incremental steps every single day that don't look like the wow, let me put this on social media things that they can put up. No, people want the big, shiny things every day. That's not how life works.
But it's tempting. I agree with you. It takes an intention that it doesn't matter if I walk 10 steps today or I walk 1 step, but I am moving forward towards what I am aiming for.
You must also remember that the word temptation, it comes from the word to temper.
Okay.
So you test this thing to see what's happening. So temptation is not there to make you lose what you have. It's there to see what you really want. If I'm married to my wife, for instance, right, and I'm tempted to cheat on her, it's to test the strength of my marriage to her. It's not to test whether or not, it's not to make me cheat. It's to test my commitment.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? That's what the word temptation means. It's like if you choose that, if you want to go on a diet, all of a sudden all the people come with you with great food because they have to they have to test if this thing, do you really want to go on a diet? Do you really want to, you decide you want to stop alcohol? Your friends say, let's go out. They want to it's tasting this thing that you want. It's not there to make you fall. It's there to taste.
I know you went deep into many aspects of this, but I loved where you were talking about habits. We all have certain habits. Mm-hmm. Do you have like a specific list of habits that you have seen to work for the development of self-mastery without requesting you to be prescriptive, but what you have experienced in your life?
The biggest one is to control your intake. It's to control what you let into your life. That's the biggest one. Number one is control your intake, and 2, control your environment. Those 2 things. So making sure that whatever you take in, whether you're watching the news, whether you're watching this, your music, listening to all the things that you're allowed to come into your system, very important. If you can control that, you can clean out a lot of things. And the second thing is to control who you are around and who you allow around you. So the habit of selecting those two things is a very big one, because it allows you to then decide and to dictate what you're going to make your thoughts about, because whatever you come in becomes a part of you. Whatever you take in becomes a part of you, and it becomes a part of your thought pattern. When it becomes part of your thought pattern, it becomes part of your actions and your emotions. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you must choose what you listen to.
That ties back to being aware of yourself. You mentioned self-awareness. And, we throw this word self-awareness around. Would you explain it and tie it to, because you said it's part of self-mastery. It's part of your definition of self-mastery.
I think your self-awareness is mostly tied to that thing inside of you that says no, thing that says no. Because it's easy to say yes. Yes is a very easy one to go with. Everyone says yes, yes, yes. But that thing that says no when it's convenient to say yes, that's the one that's self-awareness. Because that's being able to listen to yourself and say to yourself, actually, no, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. That's it's being able to be aware of yourself as an individual, separate to your environment, versus you looking at yourself as being something that must be everything else that's around you. So it's being able to stand and say, this is me. This is me. This is what I'm about, and this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. That is self-awareness. Having that grounding.
Just to put everything together here, and I want you to correct me as well, just to make sure that I got everything correctly. As I said, it's a new subject from following you. There is vision. You have to have a vision, and also choose to not be apologetic about it. Put boundaries in place to stop people that you're not going to interfere with what I want, which is part of self-awareness as well. And you have so with vision, you can tie purpose with that as well. And your daily habits as well get to define who you are. And I would like you to just maybe summarize it to us, a starting point and all these elements of self-mastery.
So it's like this, right? You're Mzee, you're a doctor, right? But when you were younger, you wanted to be on radio. It's a choice that you made. You were exposed to radio, and you used to love it, right? And then you went down this path, and you became a doctor, and you in Canada, you're practicing, being what you are, doing what you do. But this thing hasn't left you. So you have an awareness of yourself to hear that this thing has been pulling you, right?
Wow.
So what did you have to do? You had a vision of the fact that, okay, cool, I can't be on radio, but what I can do is start a podcast. So you go and you have a vision of having a podcast, and you go and you choose what you want to choose. You choose based on your topics, you choose based on the things that excite you. Then you have to go and get equipment. Now it's inconvenient for you to get the equipment, because you have to spend money that you don't want to spend. But now you've bought a mic, you've got software, you've bought headphones, then you have to go and look for people to interview, right? And as a result of that, you have had to make a decision, because right now, you could have been watching TV right now or doing something else right now, but you're interviewing me as it is. So you've made a choice that is inconvenient. But I don't know how your friends or how your wife or people around you are telling you, have told you about your podcast. People have said, oh, why do you not start a podcast? Well, it's
wow.
late, like why, whatever. But why would you not do it? Because you're a doctor, but you've made a choice. And what's going to determine how big it becomes is how consistent you are every week, every month, every year, for as long as you want to make this thing happen. But it started off, number one, with exposure. Then you wanted to do something, a desire. Then from there, it was about a vision. Then from there, it was a discipline to make an inconvenient choice, to make a purchase that was not aligned with your normal life. Right?
Wow.
And then you made a choice to buy the equipment, to build it, and to make it happen. And you manifested it, and now here we are.
Wow.
So this is what you've done. When you're unaware of it, no one tells you. For me, I told myself a long time ago that I was going to be an author, I was going to be a speaker, I was going to be a consultant, I was going to be an inventor. I wrote it in my journal 10 years ago. And here I am today doing all these things, because I told myself, this is my vision. I wanted to make this thing happen. I wanted to, when these things became who I became who I wanted to become, then from there, the world must accept me for who I am. But I had to make a choice to let go of going into corporate after I got my degree. I said no, self-awareness. And I chose a different direction.
Yes.
And at that time, everyone was like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you leaving this? And, here I am.
I love it. I just love how you explained exactly my journey. And I can say you've just summarized it so well.
Yes.
I could not have summarized it any better. And I appreciate that. So would you say you having done economics and choosing to leave that was a mistake, or it was just not good enough for you, or it was a stepping stone?
It came to me, it was a choice that I made, but then as soon as the self-awareness took over, it was not that it was a wrong thing or it was a regret. There's a saying that the Greek Stoics used to have. It was called amor fati, meaning love your fate. So you look at your life and you say, all the good things and the bad things have been perfect for my unfoldment, but now you choose your direction. So I took it in and I was like, great, economics is awesome, but now self-awareness says, we don't want this, we want A, B, C, D, E. Because what did I want? I wanted freedom. I wanted to be able to say, when I have a family and we want to do A, B, C, D, E, I want to have the freedom to do it. I don't want to be held down by a job and be told A, B, C, D, E. And I wanted to do what I loved. That's what I wanted. It was my choice. So it's not a regret because people choose different things, but this is what I want and this is what I really, really want, and I went with it. So everything has worked for my development, and I accept everything that's happened before me, great and good and bad, and I accept it, and I'm like, great. But when the self-awareness awakens, then you choose that I am going to be this Mzi, not this one that you guys know. So everything has led you to go to Canada, has been perfect for you to do this and to make sure you do what you do where you are. Nothing was wrong. Everything has been perfect.
So everything works together towards realizing your purpose.
Yes, provided that you select it. You must select it. You must select that you want, you must choose it. It's a choice that you must make. You cannot just accept, you have to make sure that you choose order. If you are an unhappy person and you know it's going to make you happy, it's a choice that you make to do things that are going to make you happy. It's a choice. So if you fail to make the choice, it can't work for you because you aren't applying the law. The law says to you, if you want to lose weight, you must make a choice to lose weight, and you must eat right, you must exercise. If you fail to apply the principle, you can't lose weight. If a plane wants to fly, it must adhere to the principles of thermodynamics. It must be able to use the principles that it has been told to it. Otherwise, it won't fly, don't get into the air. So you must make a choice and apply the principles to get you where you want to get to. Because principles don't change for anybody.
Wow. This is just amazing. I am just amazed. You've just put it so well. And I hope this inspires anyone who will be listening to this. Any last words for us?
Well, I guess, you'll get the book. The book is there. Z will tell you all about it. Z will tell all his friends about it as well. That's out in Canada as well. That's the mastery code. I also have my group coaching on my site. So I tend to have people that come in and then I help them, 10, 15 people, help them get through certain things. They have 5 questions to ask me. So that's a great place to come through, get tickets for that. All my stuff is on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter. So get that. And also look out for the next 2 books that will be coming out later on. The first book will be called The 10 Commandments of Supreme Masculinity and Larger Than Life. 2 books that are going to be coming. Yeah, man. Power.
I can't wait. So please give us your handles on social media so that we can follow you. And I think anyone who will follow you on social media will get exactly what you are about.
Yeah, so it's just at Master Louis, at Master Lui. And you'll find that on Twitter, Instagram, it's all there.
At Master Louis. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for teaching us. I learned lots. I am inspired. So I appreciate you giving us your time.